Hey guys, this is Tough Horse Reacts, and I am back to react to Death Battle Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat. Looney Tunes versus Tom and Jerry. Oh boy. Okay, before I get into this, might as well. I have some updated thoughts about Simone versus Kyle, and by updated thoughts, I mean it's now my favorite episode of the Kickstarter era. It actually beat out Bowser versus Eggman in my brain, which I didn't think was going to happen, but here we are. Because I think that just kind of goes to show the awesome power of Simone versus Kyle, and that was just great. Like, nothing has gotten me more hyped in Death Battle history than watching that over and over and over again, because the waiting period for Wile versus Tom was taking too long, and so I needed my fix. But yeah, so Wile versus Tom, it's an episode that was announced quite a while back, because it was the winner of the Champions poll of, 2023, I think it is now. Wow, it feels weird to say that's 2 years ago, but yeah, it was announced after Galactus versus Unicron, and like, hey, this is going to be an upcoming episode for the next season, and then the next season got pretty much canned because Rooster Teeth died, or rather got murdered, I suppose. But yeah, but anyway, yeah, this is a fight I'm actually kind of glad we got to wait a long while for Wile versus Tom, because I feel like if we had done it in a theoretical season 11, I don't think I would be nearly as excited for it, because we had just gotten Scooby versus Courage, and as much as I love Scooby versus Courage, it was very much like, I'm not sure if I could handle like another wacky zany cartoon fight literally next season. But I'm glad we actually got this long waiting period for it, because hey, it allowed us to have a lot of break room in between those two episodes. So here we go. It's going to make, like, if anyone wants to rewatch Death Battle from the beginning, it's probably not going to help them in that case. But anyway, Wile versus Tom, it's surprisingly won the Champions poll, but still didn't come out before Kratos versus Ashura, which was second place. So, that's fun. But I've been prattling on for way too long now. Who do I think is going to win? So the G1 blog, went 7-4 for Wile. But for me, I don't think their arguments for Wile really, made a whole lot of sense to me. Meanwhile, the argument for Tom made a whole lot of sense to me, so I'm going with Tom on that one. And that also might be a bit of bias on my part. I did grow up more with Tom and Jerry than I did with Looney Tunes, and even when I started, watching Looney Tunes, I really only specifically watched Bugs Bunny cartoons because that was the certain DVD disc I had. But hey, my mom's favorite Looney Tune growing up was the Roadrunner, so yeah, so I do have a lot of attachment to Wile too. It's just that when it comes to Wile versus Tom, I feel like it really does come down to, their stats are pretty much equal. They can both get to, multiversal level if you really want to stretch them both. They can both get to, immeasurable speeds if you want to stretch them both. But stats aren't really going to matter, because they're tunes. They have tune force. This is kind of what they do. So, Wile has this anti-tune gun, but it only stops them from, regenerating. And by regenerating, I mean, popping back into their original form. It doesn't outright, negate their inability to die. It just, stops them from reforming back to their original form. So if Wile was able to, and even then, if Wile was able to, if this anti-tune gun was able to work on Tom, which we don't know if that's even possible or not, because Tom's not technically a Looney Tune, and that gun only specifically worked on Looney Tunes. But if we were to say that the gun did work on Tom, and Tom dies, he could just come back because he has 9 lives, and not only that, he could just regenerate those 9 lives at any time he wants. So, yeah, if I had to pick if it's not going to be a draw, I have, 2 bets. It's probably going to be a draw if I had to, go about this in a rather, I don't know. It's very hard to say with these 2 characters, but if I had to say, it's probably going to be a draw, but if there is going to be a winner, I just can't imagine it coming out, with a Wile victory. So Tom is my bet to win, but if it's a draw, that's also, not going to be surprising to me. If Wile wins, that's also not going to be very surprising, because, like I said, these two are pretty much equal in a whole lot of ways. It's just, you're gonna have to come up with a pretty convincing argument to tell me that Wile wins this fight, but still, I kind of do sound like that one Ichigo line from the Soul Society arc in Bleach. I can't even imagine Tom losing, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, this is a very interesting debate to go into when you go into Toon versus Toon, especially if you're trying not to make it a draw. But yeah, if it is a draw, like, I'm going to count that as a win. If Tom wins, I'm going to count that as an extra win. If Wile loses, if Wile wins, I'll take the L. But either way, I've been prattling on way too long. Let's just jump right in. And we will start things up in 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, oh yeah, Luis drew this episode too, so... Oh boy.
Of the Looney Tunes. Tomcat, the powerhouse pussycat from Tom and Jerry. The fans voted for it and we're here to deliver. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Alright, and what we did see in the previews, like, this is going to be, like, already, I would have preferred Wile's preview start with, like, the quotes from Mark Twain, because that is what Wile is based on, but hopefully we'll get it at some point during this episode, but, okay, we'll see where this goes.
The brothers Warner, he's just a poor dumb schmuck who can't catch a break. To this day, the great Coyote stalks the American Southwest.
Wow, that's a lot of species names.
Indefatigable prey. The Roadrunner.
A lot of species names, okay.
Wile Coyote is
of course,
driven by
yeah.
a ruthless entrepreneurial
by
spirit.
Mark Twain in the pre-1949 Chase Cartoons. Okay, alright.
Chase that bird-shaped happily ever after to his own inevitable undoing.
Yeah.
Such is the lot of the common man. You might not expect it from an anthropomorphic canine Job, but Wile was born the son of world-famous hunter Cage E. Coyote. His father raised him from infancy to hound his avian adversary, and forbade him to speak until he tasted victory. On the face, an easy task.
Yeah,
Coyotes are incredibly adaptable predators, capable of hunting.
Yeah, I know, like, Roadrunners in, like, real life aren't even that quick. Like, this should be an easy meal for a coyote. But here we are.
The blue meeping bastard can make beams of light look stone still, or outrun a car that was moving fast enough to travel through time. Frankly, it's incredible that Wile manages to consistently keep up with his
right,
prey,
yeah.
But he does. No, really.
Yeah, if there was a stat I would give to Wile, it would probably be running speed, but running speed isn't really going to matter in this kind of fight. Like I said, stats don't really matter in a battle between Toons.
Almost as fast isn't fast enough. Fortunately, Wile's got an endless assortment of gadgets, gizmos, and reams of blueprints to make up the difference. He's got your classics like
yeah, I think it is going to come down to who's more competent than it is who's faster and stronger or whatever. And in that case, I do believe Tom takes that handily. It's going to come down to tertiary factors, is what I'm trying to say.
Excruciatingly detailed schemes that inevitably go awry.
Yeah.
Despite being a self-described super genius, Wile has an officially measured IQ of 3. That's the same IQ as a cactus. Okay, the test results were fake, but he's still an idiot. So
right, yeah.
Let a soulless corporation
yeah, he's not as dumb as we like to believe, but he's not like the greatest. He's not the greatest genius.
Of its multi-billion-dollar revenue. Thanks for the inherited wealth, Pops. Oh, don't worry, I'm spending it all in one place. He's got an Acme Book of Magic, Acme Clone-O-Matic, Acme Death Ray, Acme City in a Box, Acme Universal Remote, which can pause, fast forward, and rewind a person through time.
Of course.
Half the stuff Wile uses is intentionally sabotaged because Acme's board of directors is exclusively Roadrunners.
Yeah.
Man cannot catch a break. But he sure can take some punishment. No matter the severity of his failures, Wile is still a Toon.
Right, yeah, and he can just regenerate from just about anything, yeah.
Stabbed, squashed, exploded, melted, blasted into a constellation, and overall verbed for the last 87 years straight.
Yeah.
Without ever actually dying. He once got fully disintegrated into ash and popped back up like it was nothing. Similar to the immortal Coyote of Sewetmuk legend. He's also shattered the fourth wall tons of times and even ripped the comic page entirely
Wile to catch the Roadrunner. Yeah, so close.
Believe it or not, there is actually a biological reason for these abilities.
Right,
Looney
yeah, there
DNA.
is Looney
Every
DNA,
toon's
like I
got
said.
it, not just the Looney ones.
But even
And
if,
it's what
like,
lets them
even if it
survive
would,
fatal
like,
damage up to being
work on
fully
Tom, like,
erased.
Tom has his own, like, specific
Essentially
strand
dictating
of
their personal
DNA,
slice of reality
specifically
to whatever
designed
is
to
fun.
chase after
Like
Jerry.
gravity only
So
affects the Coyote when he
who even
looks
knows
down.
if
Toons
the
are immune to the
anti-toon
laws
gun would
of
even work?
physics as we know them.
That's why Wile developed a counter to this immortality, the Looney DNA Dissolver, which leaves Toons vulnerable to fatal wounds the same way we are. Yet again, so close. You can't say he hasn't tried everything.
It was Wile's experience as a veteran Toon that landed him a job at Acme University as department chair of the School of Hard Knocks, teaching up-and-coming Tiny Toons how to use their abilities.
Okay, so Naruto.
And just like Naruto's jutsus, Toon Force works like an actual power system. with
Okay.
more experienced Toons like Wile who are more powerful than their younger counterparts.
And that means Wile should be capable of replicating feats and abilities performed by any other Looney Tune, like traveling between different mediums or altering the plot of the cartoon he's in.
Of
My
course.
favorite was the time Plucky Duck used Marvin the Martian's matter transmogrifier to suck up the entire universe.
And then suck up the animator animating his universe.
And then suck
Well.
up the animator's universe for good measure.
Wile's
course,
got a
yeah, there we
cushy
go.
tenured job teaching that stuff. Impressive for an abject failure at his life mission. He's helped stop a meteor from destroying Earth, beat the Monstars in basketball, and even, oh snap, caught the Roadrunner! Oh wait, never mind. So
Yeah, there we
damn
go.
close.
According to 1977's Tweety and Sylvester issue 67, Wile E. Coyote has attempted to catch the Roadrunner 4,776,832
Yikes.
times. Scaling to the present, that's over 10 million failures.
That
Ooh.
takes dedication, or maybe self-destructive stubbornness. Too blinded by bird lust to see the forest for the trees.
Acme's intentional malfunctions and Coyote's recklessness don't account for all of his catastrophes. There's something else, something grander, otherworldly, standing in the way of our furry friend's salvation.
Wiz, there's no other way to say it. God is just plain out to get this guy.
Yeah.
By
Oof.
God, we mean the closest thing that exists for Coyote and Roadrunner. Chuck Jones.
Well,
The guy
okay.
that created him and helped
got-
forge
alright.
the Looney Tunes into how
Interesting.
we know him today.
Originally meant to be a parody of earlier chase cartoons like, well, Tom and Jerry,
There it
Jones
is.
established several rules for their animated shorts that superseded Coyote's reality warping tune abilities.
Okay.
Rules that cover his obsession, faulty products, and the fact that no outside force, not even the Roadrunner, is to blame for his defeat. Just him.
Just
While other creatives
him.
have altered this formula in the decades since Jones's departure, these rules have effectively made the Coyote's defeats cosmically ordained.
Well.
God nerfed Wile E. Coyote. In all our years making Death Battle, we have never seen a handicap like that.
Wow.
What else can you expect from our fanatical
So,
furry fail son?
I
He's
can't
the
help but
Sultan of
think like they're
Slapstick, the
setting this
CEO
up
of
to be
second
like,
place,
oh,
the swinging and a miss
isn't
superstar.
Wile supposed to
As long as
always
he picks
lose and then
himself
when he
back up
wins?
and dusts
But
off the ashes, that'll never be all, folks. for
right,
Wile E.
he,
Coyote.
he always keeps coming back. Like that's the thing. I'm not sure,
The year
like,
was 1939.
Yeah, I'm not sure
War
how we're
raged
how we're
in
gonna be
Europe
going
between the
about
British
this.
Tommies and the German Jerrys. As
So
the
we'll
beleaguered
see
English
what all
made their
Tom and
miraculous
Jerry
escape from
can
the
do
German
because
encirclement off the coast of
yeah, we
Dunkirk,
can get really
one
nutty,
might have
especially if
called
we
the battle
include like a
game
apparently a
of cat
Chinese
and
gotcha
mouse.
game called
Oh,
Tom
wow,
and
is
Jerry
that actually
Chase,
where
which
their
gets to like
names come from?
multiversal
I'm
levels
looking this
too.
up.
So
Regardless of their names' origin,
what the heck?
William Hanna and Joseph Barbera's infamous cat and mouse duo became the undisputed kings
look like
of
Cousin is scared of
slapstick
mice,
comedy.
okay.
The formula is simple.
Wonderland, Sherlock
We all
Holmes,
know
Mr.
it.
Hospital.
Tomcat
Yeah, I
chases
saw
Jerry
some of
Mouse
those
around the
movies.
house.
As a kid,
Brutal,
I loved them, but
bone-shaking,
I haven't seen them
felt
as an
that in my
adult,
balls.
so
Violence
eh.
ensues, and Tom is reprimanded by Mammy Two Shoes.
Who is, let's say, very much from the 1940s.
And if you're like me, all you wanted to see was Tom wipe that smug smirk off that little rat's face. Despite my well-documented hatred of cats, even I've got to cringe at years of propaganda to convince us to side
Yeah,
with
and,
the
like, here's
filthy,
the thing about
flea-ridden,
Tom. He
rodent-over
only
man's second
loses
best
because
friend. Oh,
because
big yawn.
Jerry
Mouse cats
outwits
like
him.
Tom are actually
Either
some
that
of
or,
Earth's
you know,
most successful
because Tom and Jerry are
predators. They can
canonically
run up to
friends.
30 miles per
So
hour,
it's a very
reach 6
bizarre
feet high,
friendship.
and
So
despite
like,
being commonly perceived
yeah.
as nocturnal, they're actually
so I don't think
crepuscular
Tom would
and
actually
hunt in
kill
the
Jerry
dawn
even if he
and
did
evening.
get his
Tom
hands on him
specifically
like
is
a few
British
times. So
Shorthair. They're strong, stocky Roman cats bred to withstand harsh conditions. And for Tom, harsh conditions is an understatement.
yeah.
Tom has collected a crazy assortment of weapons in his war against mouse kind. Sure, most most of it is the stuff you can find around the average.
Look at all
household,
this. This is
like
insane.
baseball
These
bats,
two
lead
have been
pipes,
around for
and
almost a
guns,
century.
lots and
So
lots of guns. But he's got wackier things like a magic wand, a robo-cat, vanishing cream, and a smart cap that gives him all the knowledge in the world.
I'm partial to the Sword of Light and Dark, which severs you from your own shadow. Or the Rewind Remote, which can move your victim backwards through time.
And you can't forget the cat car and cat jet, spelled with K's, of course.
Of course,
but
yes.
Just the cat part.
Tom's
Yes.
arsenal is heavily
yeah, I
improvisational,
did see
which
that movie a whole
fits his
lot,
quick
like
thinking and
just the
fights over
racing one.
Thanksgiving turkey.
Like,
Though he often
where he
loses
cut
his
Australia
battle,
in
it's not
half. Like,
usually
what the
because
heck?
He's dumb or incompetent. Rather, he's just genuinely outplayed.
Right,
And
yeah.
even in defeat, he's one tough son of a gun. He's been crushed, blown up. had
Yeah, when
every
it comes to
bone in his
smarts,
body
Tom has
broken,
definitely got
shattered,
that
melted,
up on
and
the Coyote,
vaporized
so.
to dust, and survived.
Well, mostly. Tom actually has kicked the bucket multiple times, but little known cat fact, he has 9 lives, as established in the episode Heavenly Puss.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh, Wiz was conducting some different kind of research when he stumbled on that episode.
Very funny. Even if Tom starts to use his lives up, he has a potion that just restores
magics them
Or
back,
he
yeah.
can physically go get them back from hell. Where all cats go.
Extremely hardcore for a tune, but there isn't much of a limit to what Tom can do. He
Yep.
can clone himself, levitate in the air, make his imagination real, and even break the fourth wall and enter the real world.
Yeah, if you only watch the classic cartoons from
Yeah,
the 40s,
yeah,
you may be in for a shock.
we're-
Tom
we're-
and
we're
Jerry
in for
gets buck
quite the
wild,
thing.
Much like the actual inspirations for their names. Thank you, Google.
Oh, you're still on this?
Dodoy Whiz. They were
Dodoy,
actually named
yeah.
after the two characters
Okay.
in Pierce Egan's delightful life in London, Jerry Hawthorne and Corinthian Tom. It was adapted to the stage with the title Tom and Jerry, which later became a catch-all term in 1800s England for young, drunken rabble
This is a very
rousers.
interesting
One
stuff,
could,
so.
in fact, say that many rabbles were roused the times
Which
Tom
could be the
destroyed
Abyss.
a
The
planet
Abyss.
busting
Oh, yeah, they are
asteroid,
including that
lifted
stuff,
up
okay.
the sun, and was blown up into a
Constellation, yeah.
And he was just fine. Just a bunch of stars now, but he's okay.
Yeah,
Take
he's
an
okay.
explosion that launched him through time to the Stone Age and has run through space at massively faster than light speeds.
That shouldn't be a surprise when he and Jerry have been at each other's throats for over 80 years now. But what may surprise you is the fact that at the end of the day, they're actually friends.
Yeah,
And they've
like
worked
this.
together tons of times to save the day, like when they helped a little orphan girl, Robin.
Oh, yeah, I
Starling,
did see
find her
that
way
movie,
home.
like, once,
Oh,
but-
that's a nice end
Okay.
to their story.
Don't you believe it? Now is when we have to talk about Tom and Jerry.
Here we go.
Long ago, the warrior god, Lord of Sichuan, Erlong
Yeah,
Shen,
oh.
battled the tricksy and indomitable
Goody.
Mouse King
Here
atop
we go.
Peach Mountain, leading the goddess Celeste to declare the two the strongest warriors in the realm. And they were, in fact, Tom and Jerry. They were even stronger than Devil Tom, who repelled corruption by the darkness. This mysterious, malevolent force threatened to consume
What
the tree
is
of
this?
life, whose branches encompass all of time and space. Banding together, these warriors used the star element to dispel the darkness and save the universe.
What the fuck?
Well, it
Right,
may sound
yeah.
completely insane. It is. Chase is a
It is,
Chinese mobile
yeah.
gacha game whose lore is not entirely in keeping with the spirit of the source material.
Yeah.
However, it is officially licensed.
It's
by
officially
Warner Brothers
licensed,
Interactive
so we
Entertainment,
gotta
which
include it.
means we have to include it in our research.
Yeah.
So that the gods may grant us mere mortals some heavenly push.
No.
Yeah, no.
Friendly rivalry aside, though, Tom has actually managed to catch the little rat fair and square a few times.
By my count of the original shorts,
Okay.
19 times.
19
I
times.
could watch him on repeat
Out of
forever.
quite a
Too
lot,
bad
out of
he's
quite a
still
lot of times, but
a
that's still
feline.
impressive.
The only kitty I truly respect is named after booze.
Well then, you're in luck, because the Tom and Jerry of English literature later became the namesake for a famous Christmas cocktail.
Because there's no better
All
way
right,
to
then.
get absolutely trashed than with good old Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, it's like Tom and Jerry's such a classic show. Like they didn't go a whole lot of depth, into Tom and Jerry Chase as much as I thought they would. So maybe they are saving stuff for the final analysis.
Just
But
click
like,
the merch tab at the top.
Okay.
Got mugs, stickers,
oh yeah, I
shirts,
did
and
go
more.
into the.
I'm
I did
partial
go
to
to
the
the.
official researcher's notebook.
Hey, that's what I
promise
got.
it's
Like I
not a-
just ordered that.
See, it says
Like
so right on the cover.
Sure.
Yeah,
There's also
simply because
exclusive
that's the
merch
only
on website
like thing
members,
around
like
here that I'm going to have
beer, nice
actually
and
any
cold.
use for.
And
So
I guess
So yeah, like, so I just like ordered the notebook. So I mean, I guess I could use some shirts too, but like I'm fine with this one.
We'll be releasing more stuff throughout the year, so check back for updates. Picking up an item or two really helps support independent death battles, so we want to say a big thank you to everybody that's already placed an order.
Head over to deathbattle.gg.
All right. So yeah, I'm still going for my boy Tom. I'm really rooting for Tom here, but that one Wile scaling to people who have literally sucked in the animator. So, but then again, but also Wile has the you know, caveat of like always losing. So I suppose we'll see how this goes. Of course, that's how we find Tom and Jerry. Oh, that's funny. Okay, all right. Domestic cat, Felis catus perpetus victimus. Okay. Oh no. That was a good impression. I don't think that was the actual voice line, so yeah. Greater Roadrunner. Meepus Meepus. Okay, that's fun. Kanish Schmuckish. Yeah, okay. I love this. Alright. Of course, the evil laughter. Fight. Champions. Okay, that's funny. Oh, and Jerry's running off with the Roadrunner, because of course. Alright, here we go. Okay, there's the classic scream. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Suddenly we're in a war. Okay.
You wanna live forever?
Oh, that's great. Come on, you apes! You wanna live forever? Okay. Oh, now he's creating the cocktail. Yes. Okay. Oh, that's fun. The fat lady, of course. Okay. All right, that's fun. Tom's just baffled by Wile's bad luck. Like, really, man? Okay, that's fun. Oh, okay. Like, go... Alright. Okay, it got rid of, like, all but one of the lives. Okay, interesting how that works. High-speed tonics. Okay. Alright, interesting. Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Oh, they found their way out of YouTube. Oh no. Yeah. Should have seen that coming, man. Oh, there's the... Yeah, okay, alright. We'll see how... Oh, they both got hit! Alright. Oh, and it is working on top. Okay. Alright. Oh. Did it work? Ah, of course, yeah. Alright. Damn it, did...
Wile-E Coyote, super genius.
Come on, Tom. That cannot be the end of it, please. Please don't let it be the end of it. Come on. No. No! Okay, alright.
Thank God, one of them actually died this time.
Okay, one of them actually died this time, okay.
No! Animal cruelty, no!
Considering coyotes eat cats, I'm not surprised.
While both Cat and Coyote were incredibly powerful, they
Okay.
weren't literal gods who could snap their problems away. They had limitations and weaknesses that could be exploited, especially by each other.
Okay.
Let's first talk their stats.
All
Both
right.
were strong enough to contend with universe-threatening phenomena, but comparing Wile to Plucky Duck, Looney Tunes
Okay,
can not
yeah.
only destroy their own universe, but their animators as well.
And while Tom could move faster than light, Wile could keep keep up with the Roadrunner, who could outspeed a car fast enough to travel through time.
Okay.
That's immeasurably fast, and much faster than Tom. Wile gets the edge
All
in
right.
stats.
Wile's arsenal was a bit better too, believe it or not. Even eliminating the devices that have been shown to malfunction, he still countered everything Tom had.
The biggest being the Looney DNA Dissolver, which could render Tom's cartoony healing factor moot and end the fight.
While Tom has never been shown to have
Okay.
Looney DNA specifically, the concept clearly has nothing to do with actual DNA molecules.
Looney Tunes have been
Okay.
erased completely and still returned, so it's clearly something more fundamental to their essence.
All right,
Since the Dissolver
interesting.
works on any tunes, not just the Looney ones, it should apply to Tom. But considering how much of a screw-up Wile is, it wasn't a sure bet. Hell,
Right, yeah.
It could have backfired, especially considering how much more competent Tom is.
When
Oh,
it
yeah.
came to intelligence, Wile's engineering and scheming genius were often defeated by his own ego and stubbornness. Tom, on the other hand, was consistently more flexible,
has consistently been
pragmatic, and
outwitted, yeah.
victorious in his fights. He definitely gets the edge there.
Oh, and Tom has one other big advantage. He doesn't have God nerfing him.
And
Right,
that's
yeah.
the big question. Was Tom capable enough to benefit from Wile's narrative-enforced bad luck and see the DNA Dissolver backfire against him?
That bad luck is a core part of Wile's character as a cartoon. So let's call it his, toonliness.
To find
Alright.
the answer, we dug deep through the bowels of Looney Tunes lore and
Okay.
ended up in an unexpected place.
Alright.
Space Jam.
Where
Space
Wile
Jam?
yet again fails against the Roadrunner, but against the villains of the movie, the Monstars,
Yeah, but,
he
like-
actually scores.
And scores again in the sequel, more than anyone else. But according to Chuck Jones's rules, that shouldn't happen, right?
Throughout his entire history,
it's against the
Wile's
Roadrunner,
cosmically
but, like-
ordained failures only occur when he's specifically
Right,
chasing
yeah.
the
That's
Roadrunner
that's
or
also
other
fair.
tunes
But
that
like, I mean, I
blood
kind of
like
figured
us,
that, but it's all.
because that's what Chuck
It's usually
Jones's
when
rules
Wi-
were
when
written
Wile is
for.
not the
Coyote
aggressor,
and
so, like,
Roadrunner cartoons.
I'm
And
not
even
sure,
then,
like-
looking closely, they've been broken a few times throughout the decades, even during Chuck Jones's tenure.
Without
Okay.
the universe nerfing him, there's no reason to think Wile couldn't eventually land a hit with the Looney DNA Dissolver.
Especially when the only reason it failed was because of the Roadrunner's intervention, a direct violation of Chuck Jones's limitations.
The Roadrunner's
on the
intervention. Yeah,
Coyote.
so
And
it could have
especially when
failed
it's
if
the only
Tom
thing that
interfered.
Either
So
one had that could kill the other.
Despite lacking Wile's narrative impediments, and despite having a better track record overall, Tom ultimately had no surefire way to kill Wile, whereas Wile's superior strength, speed, and looning arsenal ensured
okay,
his victory.
yeah, all right.
Wile gave
I
one
can
hell of a
I can at
chase
least
and
accept
left
this.
Tom Jones
Okay,
in for a rematch.
I still
is
think Tom
Wile
should have won, but
Coyote.
all right. Let's see
Next
what's
time
next.
on Death Battle.
All right. Oh, okay. Interesting. Pardon? They're doing this matchup out of all
Subscribe and
matchups.
join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
So what you're saying is, so this is the first matchup we have that wasn't announced previously, and it's this one. I'm not sure why they think this is close, because so they're just bringing both of these characters back, just so Miles can lose again, and just so Deku can win this time. Great. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I thought it would be a matchup that would be worth, showing at Comic Palooza, but then again, they have surprised me before. So man, not only am I disappointed that Tom lost, I am also disappointed because I have no hype for this matchup whatsoever. It's just, Deku's going to win. Come on. Miles is impressive, don't get me wrong, but he's impressive as a Spider-Man, who at most can get, I don't know, building level. Maybe if you want to, scale Miles to, some weird stuff, I guess maybe you can get him up a bit higher. But Deku gets to multi-continental, right off the bat. I know there was, one stat that put Deku at planetary, but that has been since debunked, so... Yeah, guys, what are we doing here? Yeah, alright, okay. Like I said, I'll take the L, but... Really? Miles versus Midoriya. Okay, alright, I don't mean to be a downer here, but, I can't help but be a downer, because the character I grew up the most with growing up has just died, so... Alright, whatever, I guess. I guess I can stop avoiding the subreddit like the plague now, because I knew there would be spoilers, like, because some people just can't help themselves. But yeah, like, I have no hype for this next time, so, great. Alright, I got nothing else to say, so I'm just gonna end the video here. So yeah, till next time, guys. See ya.